I've got 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And I have 1 cup of light brown sugar. 3/4 of a cup of chopped pecans. 1.5 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. And I have 7 tablespoons of melted butter. This is regular salted butter. Now it's always a good idea for you to have all your ingredients measured and set aside, because when you do that, everything flows. Then you can play your music and have fun when you're cooking or baking. You don't have to be running around the kitchen getting your ingredients together. Now the easiest way to do it is with my hand. I'm gonna go in here and mix it all up together. You wanna have big, chunky crumbs. Look at this, see? This is what you want. So I'm gonna wash my hands and then I'm gonna prepare the last step. Super easy. So now that I have my cinnamon filling and my crumble pecan topping set aside, I'm gonna prepare my cake. I'm gonna be using this big bowl right here. And I'm gonna add 1 1/4 cup of room temperature butter. Now this is regular salted butter. And I have 3/4 cup of light brown sugar. And I have 1 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. Now I'm gonna mix it all up really well with my mixer. It's set on medium. Now you wanna make sure that you get it incorporated really well with your mixer. You want it to be nice and creamy. So everything is nice and creamy, see? Now I'm gonna add 3 large eggs. 3/4 of a cup of sour cream. 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla. 3 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder. And I'm gonna mix it really well, set on medium. So I have everything nice and fluffy. Now I'm gonna add my last 2 ingredients. I have 1.5 cups of milk, and I have 3 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour. And I'm gonna alternate between them. A little bit of milk, and a little bit of flour, and I'm gonna mix them on low. A little bit more milk, and a little bit more flour. And I'm gonna repeat the process until I add them both in there. So everything is mixed really well. I'm gonna set this aside. Now this is the dish that I'm gonna be using. It's a 9 by 13. This just happens to be a cast iron baking dish, but you can use your favorite dish. It doesn't matter. And I've got some non-stick spray. I'm gonna spray it lightly. And that's good. And I'm gonna pour half of my batter into my dish. I think that's about half. I'm gonna spread it. Now this is a thick batter, but that's the way it's supposed to be. But after it bakes, it'll just be fluffy and beautiful. Now I'm gonna add all of my cinnamon filling right on top like this. And it may seem like a lot, but don't worry about it. You go ahead and add it all in here. Now I forgot to tell you that you need to have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. This way it'll be ready to go. Now I'm gonna add the rest of the batter. Now it's a little thick, but if you just stay right on the surface, it'll spread just perfectly. And that's good. Now I'm ready to add my last 2 ingredients. That's my crumble pecan topping and my blueberries. Now you can use any kind of berry that you want. My Ron loves the blueberries, so that's what I'm going to be using today. And you're going to use all the topping right on top like this. Now you want to spread it to the sides as best as you can and make sure that you cover every little square inch like this. And that's good. Now here are my blueberries. Now they look a little gooey because I had them in the freezer. I always coat them with flour so that they don't stick together, and then I put them in the freezer in a Ziploc bag. But I thawed these, so that's why they look kind of wet. Now I'm just gonna spread them around. This is 3/4 of a cup. And I'm gonna push them down gently, just a little bit like this. Just like that. Now, since my oven is preheated to 350 degrees, I'm gonna put my dish right on the center rack, anywhere between 40 and 45 minutes, or until you can poke it right in the center with a toothpick and it comes out nice and dry. If you have to wait another 2, 3, 4 minutes, go ahead and do it. So I'll see you in a little bit.
So here it is.
I just took it out of the oven. It was in there just a little bit over 45 minutes. Come take a look. Now I'm ready to cut into it. This smells wonderful. I've been waiting for this all day. Now it's time for the taste test. Oh, look at this. And now my hot coffee.